Hey everybody, it's Chris with Killer Arcade Games, and today I'm finally going to be redoing the art on my Killer Instinct Arcade 1-Up cabinet. Why am I redoing it? Well, this cabinet was finished in 2018. It was one of the first two Killer Instinct Arcade 1-Up mods ever done. The first two known ones, at least, that were shared. This has been through a few changes. Inside, I've changed out the PC for the newer HP Elite desk. I love that computer. It boots up in under a minute. Everything's ready to actually play in about 1 minute total. So from flipping the switch on to actually getting into the game is about a whole minute. I think it's a really fast computer, but anyway, I'm gonna leave a link to it in the description. We'll move forward. This is about the art. This video is about the art at least. So I've already got my new marquee on here. My original marquee was complete junk. Bad print, okay marquee in general, but it's an old school marquee and they've upgraded some of the technology. This one is from Retro530 on Etsy. That's Laramie on the Facebook groups. You probably have seen him. He makes unbelievable stuff. I'll leave a link to the review of this marquee so I don't have to go on and on about it. Here's a closer look at the cabinet. The cabinet really looks fine, but I'm a little picky. As you can see, spinal had to be cut off a little bit. The art print was kind of big. It made it difficult to get it all on there. There's no Nintendo logo here, which bothered me from day one. Gotta have that Nintendo control panel side logo thing. I don't know why that's not on the Escape Pod version, but it's just not. The art in general looks okay. Spinal's tip got cut off here. I guess that's just maybe when they were cutting the image out issue. I really don't know. This is a matte finish, which bothers me a tad. I really don't like matte. My new art is glossy. I think it's gonna look a whole lot better. Let's take a look at this bezel here, by the way. So the monitor bezel, I guess since I was one of the first to order the thing, they probably didn't realize that it was gonna be cut off and hidden under here. And keep in mind, I have not cleaned this at all yet. I didn't bother since I'm actually getting a whole new bezel, but the KI got cut off underneath here. We didn't do the best cut, by the way, and it's just kind of a sloppy job, and you know, we were new. My wife was doing the best she could. She hated putting the bezel on, by the way. But let's look at the deck here. Excuse all the wires and mess down there. Here's the control deck. This is probably one of the biggest pet peeves I've had, and unfortunately, I didn't have the greatest solution, but let's focus on this for now. Spinal is on the deck, which he's not supposed to be there. I do like that they included the art around the buttons there, but it did overlap the Killer Instinct, and unfortunately you're gonna see soon that I could not fix that. And then they put a KI here, which isn't accurate to the real arcade. That should be up above here, but still, I think it looks good for the most part. I like that they were able to keep the original backgrounds. I actually have one I'll show you later, but they do make a reproduction of this, and I didn't want to use that. I wanted to keep it as close to the original as possible. Down here, this really looks fine. Again, it's matte, it's gonna get replaced. And I think I'm gonna be adding art to this part, even though the buttons are here and it's probably gonna look silly. I can't help not putting it on there though. I think we're gonna go ahead and put it on there and just check it out. So that's my gripes with this current cabinet's art. It's really not that big a deal. These are real first world problems, but I want to get this thing looking as sharp as possible. This is my favorite arcade game of all time. And since I can't own the real thing currently, which I'm always looking, by the way, thank you guys who are looking out for me all the time. If you ever find a Killer Instinct for sale, even if it's far away, feel free to email me. I might buy it. So with that said, I've already ordered all my new art. I've got a few pieces in here now I'll show you before I put it on the cabinet. First of all, this is a custom cut deck with plexiglass where the buttons are gonna sit on top. Thank you so much to Dwayne from D's Games. I'll leave him a link to his channel in the description. He made this for me. I did not ask. He was very kind and he knew that I'm a big fan. Real T-molding on the outside. I love that the buttons are gonna sit on top of this as they should. No more dust and stuff getting underneath the control panel and having the buttons recessed, which has always bothered me. I'm ready to show you guys. Let's go take a closer look at it. So let's start at the top. Here's the Retro 530 marquee. That is amazing. I love this marquee. I actually have it on my MK2 also. Looks amazing. Very easy to install. So moving down here, we've got a bezel that has been upgraded. I actually really like this design, and funny enough, the design was made by Dwayne of D's Games on YouTube. As far as I understand it, he designed this marquee and then had Escape Pod print it. Well, Escape Pod started selling it, so I was able to buy it, which was awesome. And Escape Pod actually applied the graphic behind the plexiglass, which looks so much better. Please excuse all the glare, but the print is actually behind it. You can't feel it. It looks so clean and so nice. I wish all my cabinets were like that. Also, my original Arcade 1-Up acrylic glass bezel thing, whatever you want to call it, actually had a lot of scratches all over it. It was very noticeable. This thing is clean and perfect. I'm never taking it off unless I have to. Let's look at the side really quickly because the side has a bit of a story to it. You're going to see some of the screw holes are still covered, which I left purposely. Other than that, this is pretty flawless side art. There was a few problems, so we just applied the art over the original art that was on there. So the original KI art's underneath that art. That may have been a mistake, but it kind of worked out. For some reason, on almost all my cabinets, the art starts peeling back right here, but no big deal. I just stuck it on over that anyway. One of the biggest reasons I wanted to change the side art was to get the Nintendo logo on there. It looks really nice on there. It really kind of completes the look. The glossy print that I got is amazing. This art kit is from an eBay seller. I can't remember his name all of a sudden. I think it's MK Arcade Restore. I don't know, but I will link to the product there. Initially, we weren't so happy though because my wife is a veteran at putting this side art on. She did the Blitz cabinet. She did the Carnival cabinet. She did the original KI cabinet. She never gets any bubbles underneath it, and for some reason, it was full of bubbles. We kept trying to peel it off, kept trying to squeegee them out, would not come out. So eventually I said, forget it, let's just stick it on. I don't care that much. It's black anyway, you may not see the bubbles. Since it's been on there, I haven't paid any attention to it, but I looked at it today before filming this, and there are no bubbles. I guess maybe this breathes and was able to let the air out, and there's no bubbles. It's perfect now. It doesn't even look like there was ever a problem, which is really nice. Now let's move over here to the deck. The buttons sit on top of the acrylic. That's what I like the most, and Dwayne knew that, which is why he made me this, because my Blitz cabinet was a custom deck also made by, I can't remember what company, and I love that the buttons sat up on the deck. It looks so much better than having them, you know, recessed down inside of there. So let's talk about the deck art now. This is from Escape Pod. It's their updated deck art. The original deck art had Spinal over here, had a big KI right here. I really did not like it that much, but it was all that was available at the time. So down here we've got the Killer Instinct art on here. These buttons were already installed. There was nothing I could really do, but it actually works out pretty nicely. It only covers a little bit of that K here, a little bit of the I, and a little bit, not even really any of the N over here. So you can still clearly make it out. I just got lucky in that case. And down low is an upgraded Killer Instinct kick plate. It's got the glossy look to it. Looked a lot better than that matte print. I still don't have riser art, and I don't know if I'm going to. I think I've kind of spent enough on this. So overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. I wasn't very happy at first with the bubbles in the side art, but it kind of just was something I didn't notice, and apparently it went away on its own. I do firmly believe this is its final form. And I don't even know if I would have gone this far if I had known that I'm probably going to be buying a real Killer Instinct cabinet here soon. But ultimately I'm happy with it because it really did bug me to not have a Nintendo logo, to have a deck that I wasn't in love with, and I really wanted it to look a lot better. I did upgrade the marquee, I've upgraded a lot of stuff on this cabinet, but this is it. It's its final form, unless I find riser art, but we'll talk about that later, if it ever happens. And even though I may be buying a real Killer Instinct cabinet, I have no intentions to get rid of this, so don't ask me if you can buy it, of course, because I really don't plan to sell it. And besides, Arcade 1-Up's making a real one anyway. And even if I do get the real cabinet, I can't bring the real cabinet in the house. It's just too big. It's going to have to be in the garage. So for about 6 months out of the year, I'm probably not going to be able to play it anyway in the summer. So I can come inside and play this one when I want to just play some KI and not have to sweat or freeze in the garage depending on what time of year it is. And I want to give one more thank you to Dwayne from D's Games. He actually just bought himself a real Killer Instinct cabinet, which I was highly jealous of, but of course happy for him. I'm always jealous when people get a KI, but you know, why wouldn't you be? But of course I'm happy for him. It's great when fans get to pick up the real cabinets, and he got a good deal. I just thought it was so nice of him to actually take the time to make this and send it out to me. He didn't charge me a thing, like I said. And one more thanks to Laramie of Retro530. He made the marquees. He sold them to me at a slight discount, which I greatly appreciate. Laramie's a really good guy. He sells great stuff, so go check out his store. I highly recommend his products. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is kind of like revision 3 of the cabinet, the final revision, so don't worry, you're not going to see too much more about this cabinet other than gameplay. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more arcade content, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. If you needed proof that this Velcro is really strong, this cabinet's laying on its side. I don't have any Velcro on the bottom part, but those strips are holding the entire PC up while it's sitting sideways.